Hey guys, it's Matthew Klein here, and in today's video I'll be counting my trees and giving you guys some updates along the way, just like how Jay from Blue Jay Bonsai did it and Nigel Saunders from the Bonsai Zone. Just bear in mind that it is winter at the moment, so everything looks dull and dead, but it is in fact not dead, hopefully. So let's get started. First on the bench is my 3 black monkey thorns. You can see they don't have any leaves on them. Some dead leaves still on that one at the back. And I've placed some loose rocks on them that I will be able to remove. But for now I'm just keeping it there just to help keep them steady. Next up is a Chinese elm. This Chinese elm was grown from a root cutting, a little piece of root that I planted from our main Chinese elm. Next up is a white Karee that almost lost. Next to it is a normal monkey thorn tree. Growing really well. In front of it is black monkey thorn grouping. There's 4 left. There were about 7 in the spot originally. Next is my Firethorn. You can see it got some wind burn on it, but it's not doing bad. Next is a wild olive, small wild olive. Next to it is another wild olive with a really long shoot that I need to prune soon. And then over here is my Chinese elm. It still has all of its leaves on it. Chinese elms is a bit strange in South Africa. You will see in some nurseries some trees will have all its leaves still on, some will lose its leaves, depending on the climate, I guess, or where it is standing. This one gets a lot of sun even in winter, so but I think last year it lost its leaves towards the end of winter, so we will see. Next to it is a Boxwood. Not exactly sure which type of Boxwood. Next to that is a Chinese Juniper. And in front of that one is my another monkey thorn. And over here I have a golden dewdrop, which hasn't lost all its leaves yet. Next up is this Weigela Japonica. Next to it is some cuttings of it. Then I have a really sad update to make. The root over rock Natal ficus that I did never recovered from its pruning and replanting. I'm actually not sure what happened. It just dried out completely, and I did water it, but maybe not enough. So that's really sad, but I'll be doing another video where I'll be planting another Natal ficus over this rock, and I think what I would do differently this time is just plant the whole thing, or cover the whole thing with sphagnum moss to retain moisture. Next up is this yesterday, today and tomorrow. Then over here is a boxwood and Portulacaria Afras. Behind it I have these are what are they called? Blue Guarri. And in this pot there's a mulberry that came up. And then we have a waterberry here. And in front of it is a small, I think it's a Bourbon. And then this mystery tree that I'm not sure what it is, but it is indigenous to South Africa, is what I've been told. Next up is a couple of Trident maple seedlings, and behind them there's a tray full of Jacarandas seedlings. Next to them there's a tray with just like a couple of other Trident maple seedlings. Then over here I have my Portulacaria Afras forest, and a number of people have said that these are Chrysella alvatas in my video where I planted them, but the tips have grown in as red, and that is a sign that it is indeed Portulacaria Afras. Next up is this cool Jade. And behind that is another Portulacaria Afras. Next to it is another Chinese maple, just a stick, waiting for spring. Next to that is another Chinese maple, Trident maple. We'll also need some pruning and maybe a repot in spring. And I have some Chinese Elm cuttings. In here I have another waterberry. And in the spot there's some sort of succulent that came up. It looks really cool. I've just left it to grow with this waterberry. And then in here I have 2 yellow woods, which looks very sad. I'm not sure if they will make it, or maybe they're already dead. The leaves are dried out, even though they do receive enough water. I think the soil just wasn't a good soil for them. So I'm not sure if I need to count these. For now I'm gonna count them because I'm not sure if they're dead or alive. Next to it is a Cape honeysuckle. That's grown in a lot, and it's a really long shoot. With a trumpet flower at the top. Yeah, that's the Cape honeysuckle. Next to it is a pomegranate. Behind the pomegranate is the Cape honeysuckle seedling cuttings, and behind that is Serissa cuttings. Next to that is wild olive cuttings, and some more Chinese Elm cuttings. And then in here, in between all the weeds, it looks like there's a Firethorn cutting that made it. Then over here I have my Jacaranda tree. It grew quite a lot in the last growing season. Next to it is my Juniper Procumbens nana that I'm gonna create a cascade from using this branch. So it will be planted like that. Next up is this Ginseng Ficus over here. Here's another Ginseng Ficus. Next to it is a Ficus burtt-davyi root over rock. Over here is my Serissa, snow rose Serissa. Actually lost a couple of leaves, dropped a lot of leaves this winter, and I was a bit scared, but it's also full of flowers still, which is very strange. It basically flowered the whole year so far. Then over here I have a Baobab. Also without any leaves. Next to it is a Adanium, Impala Lily. As you can see, this one got root rot, or rotted away It's hollow there, but it has roots on the other side. That's why it's leaning like this, because it's got roots on the other side of this hollowed out area. So I'm not sure what to do with it. You can leave suggestions in the comments, please. Should I just cut it flush and then plant it as a cutting, or should I bury this whole thing in the ground? Yeah, so please let me know in the comments below. Over here is a big Impala Lily. You can see it just goes on and on and on. I'm gonna cut it off about here and just use the bottom part for a bonsai. And if I counted correctly, it should be around 50 trees. Never thought I would have so many. I thought it's a lot less, but a lot of them are still seedlings or very, very young trees. So I'm really excited to see how they develop in the future. And thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Cheers.